Hello everyone, my name is David Allen Gay, and thank you for watching the 22nd episode of David Needs a Job. I use LinkedIn to network with other people, coworkers, friends, to get some leads and some tips on how to find potential places to send my resume to. But there's also a discussion forum, there's also articles that appear for people to comment on. One particular article that has gotten my attention and has prompted me to make a post in the comments section was written by Bruce Kasanoff. He's the co-author of Smart Customers and Stupid Companies. I really like that title. And the article is called In Tough Times, Abandon Your Employees. It's a really good read, a long read, so I'll give you the too long didn't read version of it. Where he's saying, though he understands why companies exist basically to make a profit, he finds it horrifying that companies on the same day that they announce great profits, record profits, they are laying off mountains and mountains of staff. And his argument was, okay, fine, if this is your business model, why not simply announce that that's the way you play? In other words, the reason why that you guys are in the business and why you guys make a lot of money and what your mission statement is because you don't give a flying you-know-what regarding the employees. The employees are going to be let go when times get kind of tough. Well, that particular mindset does not surprise me. Let me tell you something. I have been around for a long time. I've been working since I was 16 years old. Mowing lawns, painting fences, clipping hedges up the street where I live in North York, which is a suburb here in Toronto. And at the age of 17, I was an usher for the Eglinton Theatre. And I've been working ever since nonstop until around 2009, where I ran into this really big problem called the recession. And I have been working on and off, trying to make ends meet in this jobless recovery, age of austerity, my two favorite expressions that I seem to be saying over and over. So I understand that the logic that he's coming from is that companies are indeed financial organisms. They live simply for the purpose of profit and to ensure that the investors and the shareholders get their dues for investing in the company. That's just how things work. It's not supposed to be a charity. It's not supposed to be a family. And the days of employer loyalty, where you basically give your personal life away, and in return the company will reward you by protecting your jobs when time gets tough. That went out the door around 1990s, mid-1990s, when the dirty 90s rolled in. And people started to realize that, the days of, well, my dad's days, where he worked for such a long time at a company, and when you joined a company, it was for life. Those days are gone now. It's not unusual now to have very short employment histories where you hop and hop and hop from different jobs. Because that's how it goes now. That is the reality that we are in this new economy. There is no such thing as employer loyalty anymore. What I am surprised about and a little disappointed in is that he did not talk about the other side of the coin. What happens to these people when they go from valued employees that helped the company in its success and making profits to becoming a consumable asset like toilet paper and coffee cups in the canteen, where when it's all over and they've got no jobs and companies are not hiring because they've now adopted this model of let's do more with less and keep our human resources costs down to a minimum, he did not address that part. I can certainly help explain that part, not just from my own experience of looking for work for 3.5 years, but pretty much from what you read in the newspapers and see on TV, what the real damage is. And it does so much damage in so many different ways. I have mentioned in a previous episode the psychological and emotional damage as to what happens when the economy stops producing jobs and all of the work becomes either farmed out or minimalized and restructured so that more than one job assignment and title is given to a single person to do. In other words, you worked in a warehouse or an office where it had like maybe 15 or 20 people. You're now down to 5 because they got rid of 2/3 of the workforce, but the responsibilities for keeping the company are still there. They need to be met, and guess what? You're the poor sucker who's going to be trusted with that. That's the damage that's done to those who are working, but it's also an effect on people like myself who are trying to apply for positions in companies and are facing a wall of competition, not just because of jobs being farmed out overseas to the Middle East, to Ireland, to Singapore, but also because within the country I live in, which is Canada, there are no jobs at all. The companies have opted to cut expenses rather than grow and make profit in the way that they used to do in the 70s and the 80s. And with that line of thinking in place, I've gone on the article's comment section and I put my own 2 cents worth, my own experiences as to what happens to people when companies that were mentioned in the article go to this transition from valued employee to valueless commodity. What happens? And some people have replied by saying, well, this is a good thing. This is how the world economy will work. There's going to be no such thing as a local economy. There's going to be no boundaries. It's one planet, one environment, one everything. Well, that's nice Star Trekian thinking, and I'm a big Star Trek fan, so I can really get on board with that. But the problem is that's not how the world really works. The world is still geographically and politically divided. There are people who have different mindsets. There are people who have different ways of government. We have open democracies. We have closed, tight-fisted dictatorships. We have faiths that are different. We have ideologies that are different. You're either right, center, or left. We are not one happy, harmonious world of blue and green like you might see in Star Trek or any other science fiction series that depicts the Earth as a united front. Remember that I said before that businesses are financial organisms. They are going to try to keep their costs low as possible, and what better way to do this is by turning employees from an asset that is more than the sum of its parts to something that can easily be acquired, consumed as quickly as possible with as little effort needed, and then disposed of when it serves no useful purpose. I mean, like I said, like toilet paper, like a coffee cup in a canteen. And what people don't seem to understand, and this is particularly the case with companies, is that by adopting that mindset, you are really doing a lot more damage than good. You are destroying people's lives. You are in fact hurting the economy, at least the local economy within the country, by taking those jobs away from people and farming them off overseas for other people who can get them at 2/3 or even 1/3 the cost. You're also turning away consumers that would buy your products. Remember also a while back I said in a previous video that people who are out of work make really lousy consumers. Myself, as an example, I'm not really concerned right now about buying a new TV set or a new computer or going on a vacation. I'm worried about my dental issues, of which I have to have looked at in 2 days, and I will make an episode about that as to let you know how things went with the dentist. I have to pay my rent. I have to pay my bills. I've got to wash my shirt. I've got to dry clean my suit. I've got to pay for my phone bill and my internet access as part of my job search. I'm not going to be spending a lot of things that would stimulate the economy. I'm actually hoarding money. And companies are causing people like myself to hoard money by not hiring us. So any company that thinks this is a good way of doing business, well, maybe it's great for your bottom line, but you're not doing yourself a favor down the road. Not many companies, and I can say this from experience, especially with my last company that I worked for, not many companies will survive for a very long time, just simply watching the bottom line rather than getting their heads into full forward gear and trying to make winning products and services that customers can really get behind and want to buy. I mean, just look at Apple's example, look at Samsung's example. That's the way that they have to do things. They make money by creating this so-called killer app. And people want it, they want to buy it, and the company grows, and they hire more people, and people who are once unemployed become employable and darn good consumers. So I really want to say to these companies who think that this is the best way to do things, if you're going to do this sort of thing, then do what the author said in the article. Make a policy guideline that is clearly displayed beside your logo that says, yeah, this is how we do business, this is how we make money. we're not talking about families and treating our customers right. We're basically talking about satisfying our investors, our shareholders, and to screw the employees who worked so hard for us and gave their personal lives to us. Once we are done with them, they're gone, But that's my say for today. Thank you very much for watching this episode of David Needs a Job, and I will share with you my experiences with the dentist 2 days from now. Have a good day. Bye for now.